Hello! Today we are going to show you our museum with the participation of Cuauhtémoc Maldonado, Paulina Medina, and Valerie Sanchez.
Here at the entrance we can observe a factory which represents the first industrial revolution, in which many important thinkers like Adam Smith and John Locke illuminated or influenced this movement with their knowledge. This first industrial revolution was from 1760 to 1840 in England. The Industrial Revolution was a very important event in history, which consists in the evolution of the way different goods are manufactured. In the Industrial Revolution, people started to move from farms to cities. One of the main effects of the Industrial Revolution was the factory system. On one hand, the production became faster and the factory's owners earned more money. On the other hand, children and women had to work for hours. They were exploited. The salary of the workers was not enough for the work they had. In the end, it was a beneficial event for industrial history. Moving aside, we have the sewing machine. The sewing machine was invented approximately in 1755. The sewing machine is one of the most important inventions in the Industrial Revolution. The sewing machine had a great impact in the Industrial Revolution because it improved the textile industry and it gave big opportunities for women to work. This machine evolved and they could sew toys, towels, or pillows. This was the start for a big empire of textile industry. The textile industry started to expand to other countries since then. Changing a little bit of subject, let's go with the guillotine. While in England industrialization was evolving, in France people were killed with guillotine. The guillotine was used for punishing people. If you didn't follow the law or you were against the religion, your head was going to be executed. This creation represented the reign of terror after the French Revolution. The guillotine was proposed in 1789 when the French Revolution started. Josephine Ignaz Guillotin invented the guillotine. In those times, people were punished with guillotine. This was an instrument that easily decapitated. This invention had a very big impact because it killed a lot of people, including Louis XVI, the last absolute king, and Marie Antoinette, his wife. After their deaths, the Reign of Terror started. The intentions of the Reign of Terror was fighting the enemies of the revolution. Maximilien Robespierre was the mastermind. He wanted to have the power, and around 30,000 people died.
As well, in the main entrance, we can find a horse. This one represents the French Revolution, the Industrial Revolution, and the American Revolution. Thus, it was one of the most important and useful animals, because people use them in the war as a transportation, and also they use them to load the carts. So it is an important representative of our entire presentation. Going forward, we can see a little representation of the State Chamber from Pennsylvania, where the little resolution was read in 1776, also known as the Declaration of Independence. That was one of the most significant movements of the United States. Actually, this resolution was divided in three. The first part was that the United Colonies needed to be free and independent, and also that the relationship of these colonies with the States of Great Britain needed to be dissolved. That on July 2nd, this part was adopted, in which 12 colonies voted in favor.
But it was missing
New York. So it was until July 9th that New York voted in favor. That is why these colonies are called the 13 colonies. So in total, 56 congressional delegates signed this document. The second part was to make foreign alliances. That was accepted in September 1776. And the last one, that the resolution needed to exist a confederation so these colonies could be united. That this document establishes the function of the national government of United States of America. That it was approved in November 1776. As well, this document was asked to John Dunlap to make 200 copies of this document. This movement was really hard to carry out because we already know some of the members of the 13 colonies were not sure to sign this declaration, so it postponed the meeting to July 1st. Finally, on July 2nd, 1776, the Congress adopted the lead resolution and proclaimed the independence. In the following, we can see a big boat with the flag of Great Britain that represents the Boston Tea Party that took place a few years before the Declaration of Independence. It happened in 1773. Its name doesn't express the real meaning because this one was an attack towards the properties of the British East India Company. It was a result of the ending of the 7-Year War. Also in this period was when 9 deputies had a meeting to write the Declaration of the Rights, so this caused a change of the type of government. All these events led to the Boston Massacre on March 5, 1770. That is why George III eliminated the custom taxes. Everything was in peace until George III established the Tea Act in 1773, but this act causes a discontent on the people. So on December 16, 1773, 8,000 people had a meeting in the Old South Meeting House of Boston. This movement generated a radical group that threw 3 charges of the British East India Company boats into the sea, and that is why it is called the Boston Tea Party.
Moving forward, we can find this train. It represents one of the most important pieces of improvement in the Industrial Revolution. It made traveling easier. You no longer needed a horse to take care of it, and it was considerably slower than the train. The first train that was powered by steam was seen in 1804. It was certainly the perfect conditions for the production of more of them. Having a lot of natural resources to exploit at that time led to the benefit of a lot of people. The ones who got the mineral and sold it to the distributor, and the industries that made the parts of the train. It changed the culture. The economy increased by benefiting from the steps it took to make, and also by helping with the transportation of the goods into other towns or places where they were needed. The train was originally the first high-powered machine, so companies started building more railways. It is one of the representations of the times where we started to affect the ecosystem in our surrounding for our own benefit. The Wealth of Nations represents one of the most important books of that time in the Industrial Revolution. The book that guided the whole market to a better place, written by Adam Smith. The term that was most famous in that book was the invisible hand, in which he stated that no organization should be able to intervene in the market in order to make it increase, that it would just guide by itself if we just let it be. And it was written by one of the greatest thinkers of that time, Adam Smith. Yes.